up, everybody? What is good? Welcome to the Damn Dude Podcast.
Damn, dude.
This is episode 30 of season motherfucking 2.
Damn, dude.
That makes us 130 episodes in. Holy shit, we are moving right along here. I am your host, California Cal. I'm not one of those Californians, I have to say. This show is here, and I'm here to help spread and bring out the conversations that need to be had in a way that'll make you think and say, damn, dude.
Damn, dude.
You know what I'm saying? To like normalize conversations that are vulnerable and real as fuck and move us forwards. We're here to help educate, entertain, and make an impact on life and the way we think about shit and the way that we view the world and possibly even ourselves. Because why wouldn't we want to do that? You know what I'm saying? I think it's so invaluable to be able to have stuff where like we can share in such a way that everybody's able to understand and feel included and relate in some way, shape, or form. And if not, then at least make sense of why people in certain areas or cultures or whatever do certain things in certain ways. You know what I mean? So today, I want to shout out to the topic plug. Yo, this is some G shit today. We're going to be getting into like life lessons. You know what I'm saying? Like it's a trip to sit back and think about all of the life lessons that occur and how we relate to them. You know what I'm saying? But it's interesting because how we relate to all of life's lessons kind of all have to do with what degree we love ourselves to. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, that's a big thing of this podcast that I kind of think in the background the whole time was like, I want this to sort of be like a roadmap of how to love yourself and just be happy in life. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm just documenting the realest shit that I possibly can. And it just, for some reason, is cool and it helps and it moves us forward. So to me, doing this show consistently, like no matter what, has to do with a certain... It has to do with I'm like tongue-tying myself with the words I'm trying to say. I'm trying to say it has to do with like the degree that I love myself too. You know what I'm saying? So I think that consistency exists inside of how much we love it, and how much we love it has to do with how much we love ourselves, because we can only perceive how much we love something as much as we are able to love.
Damn, dude.
Yo. Excuse my voice, and if I'm kind of sniffly today, like the weather in San Diego has been so crazy lately. Like, not in the sense of like everybody else in the country, like crazy is like it's tearing shit up. No, it's been like it's been in the hundreds over this weekend. Before that, it was in like the 60s and then 50s and then 70s and then hundreds and then 80s. And then today we're in the 60s again. And I'm like, bro, how do we go from 100 to fucking 60? Like, jeez, dude, like it's... And whenever this happens, like my allergies get all jacked up and I'm like, ugh. So it's, yeah, apologize for sounding all crazy like that, but that's what's going on. And like I said, this is just real shit. So we're going to just keep it fucking real. Oh, dude, so this weekend, I forgot to kind of... Sorry, I'm all over the place, man. It's early, and I got a lot to do. I got a long day today. So, went to the ranch this weekend. I explained what the ranch was on the last weekend, on the last podcast. And it was dope as fuck. We went, petted some horses, fucking walked around some nature. Roll rode his bike. We went with my mom. It was cool. We all just kicked back, had a bonfire, you know, looked at the lake, walked around, played a bunch of basketball, made some friends there. It was pretty cool. Rolo was playing basketball with all these kids and stuff. It was pretty dope. And yeah, man. So it was cool. Um, so, anyways, sorry that wasn't that exciting, but I figured I would just kind of catch you guys up. Um, it was a chill ass weekend. It was very much needed. So, dude. So, life lessons. It's so trippy to think that, like, how we respond to things is pretty much just a reenactment of what we've seen, of how we've handled things from past experiences and certain fears that we have. And then it goes even deeper, which is how we respond to things based on how our parents responded to things or didn't respond to things, and then how our grandparents responded or didn't respond to things. Like, it's such a trippy, like, cycle. And I guess that's why it's like we have generational cycles and generational baggage and stuff like that, because there's stuff we inherit from our families, whether like we ever met them or not. You know, that's what's weird about DNA and shit. So that really trips me out, because this ties in exactly with what the topic here is today, which is life lessons. Lessons and events occur in life in order to teach us something valuable that we need to learn about ourselves. If we ignore and push away the lessons, they will keep occurring in different forms.
Damn, dude.
Yo, that just, it goes so hard already. Like, I don't even, what else even needs like, yo, that's so important to understand, especially while shit is happening in your life. It's not that like shit's happening to you. You know what I'm saying? It's like, oh, life's just this is happening to me. Nah, don't. That's some punk ass shit. Don't take that perspective on. Everything in life has the potential to happen for you if you have the right perspective. Meaning, nothing is just happening to you. Things happen for you if you are in control of, or if you have, I should say not control, but if you have some degree of awareness of your emotional intelligence. You know what I mean? So, like, it's a trip that if we ignore life lessons, they just keep fucking happening and in different forms. And then once that happens, it feels like we're just stuck in this vicious cycle of life. And we're just in the fucking, like, rinse cycle of the washing machine, so to say, you know, like, metaphorically. Like, for me, I think of surfing even when I say that. It's like when you get slammed by waves or you get stuck in the spin cycle, if you don't surf, or you know, you're not a beach person or whatever, what that means is, like, when the waves and you're surfing or you're body surfing or boogie boarding, you could just playing in the water, right? The wave will just, because basically a wave, all it is a cyclone of energy. And it spins in a circle and moves forward. That's why you can go under it or over it, but you can't go through it. I mean, you can if it's not too strong. But, like, in general, you go under them smoothly and over them. Over them is a little trickier, but you go under or over, because it's just a sphere of energy that moves forward. So, you know, it's like when you eat shit in that, you fall, you crash, it'll just keep spinning you, and you just spin and spin and spin and spin, and you do not know which way is up or down or left or right. There's absolutely no way to tell, because you're just spinning and spinning and spinning, and, like, all you see is just bubbles and water and blackness and bubbles. Like, sometimes you can see light and then the darkness of the beach, but, like, if the sand is a very light colored, you can't tell the difference between the floor and the ocean by visuals. And you're spinning so fast you can't even see it. And there's all these bubbles around you because the water's moving. And that's what it can feel like. You know what I'm saying? Your life problems keep fucking just happening over and over and over and over. And this is the thing, is, like, all waves are different. Every single wave is different. And they all come in different shapes and sizes and forms with different peaks and different energy, different power. It's all the same thing. It's all just a wave, but they all come slightly differently. And that's kind of like if we were just to say the term life problems. Well, we all have those, but we all have, you know, there's different, they all come individually, differently, different sizes. And it's like we've all had very similar ones, many of us. And then, especially within your region of where you live, so we all have that in common, which is interesting, but we feel like it's all so unique and all of our problems are so personal because it feels so deep, but all it is a life problem.
Damn, dude.
Everybody's got a life problem. You know what I'm saying? There's nobody who's immune from that or too cool for that or rich enough for that. Like, no matter what, your brain is going to think thoughts you know what I'm saying? And if your brain can think thoughts, then that means you're alive and you're blessed.
Damn, dude.
You know what I mean? So that's some G shit, dude. Excuse me. Cheers, guys. Good morning. Cup of sunshine. That's what my cup says. So, that's a trip, dude, because if you look at it, it's like life lessons. Like, it could be like staying on top of your finances, paying your bills on time, or like it could look like how you respond when there's confrontation or a disagreement or something like that, or how you respond when you're uncomfortable with something or somebody does something you don't like, or how you interpret things. Like, if you notice that it's like all of a sudden it seems that like, man, that one guy at the grocery store is an asshole, and then all of a sudden it becomes, man, everybody at that store is an asshole. Oh, I hate that store. I don't go there. Like, okay, I've seen people do that. Fair enough. Like, I don't agree with it, but people say that I don't go there. They're assholes over there. And then you got these same people will be like, oh, the people at fucking the cell phone place are fucking assholes. I hate those guys. And then you go and then they talk about their experience at fucking an amusement park. Oh man, they're such assholes. And then you're like, wait a minute, hold on. I doubt that the majority of the people are assholes. If the majority of people are assholes, you're the fucking asshole.
Damn, dude.
I'm telling you, if the majority of people are assholes, you're the asshole. Like, that's just the way it fucking works. So that's exactly perfect, because the next part of this is, well, how can we be present for these lessons and take away everything life is trying to show and teach us? Well, it's to start identifying things like that. Are people cool everywhere you go, or are people assholes everywhere you go? Because that's automatically how you know if you're being cool or not. You know what I mean? Like, it's so funny because it's such common sense, but it's not. Like, that's so deep at the same time. Like, I don't know. That's like mind-blowing to me, but it's like, it's so simple at the same time. And it's like, well, fuck, obviously. It's like, it's just, like, when I think about this, it's like, you should always look both ways before you cross the street. But it's like, you don't always. Sometimes you just start trusting other senses, or you checked it out. You had already checked it out. There's a dude. This is what's crazy is now we got electric cars, and they don't make any fucking noise. So like, you can't count on that sense anymore of just listening to it. So you got to actually look. But it gets to the point where people will just use the peripherals rather than actually take a look. And there is a difference when you just see when you check with your peripherals versus actually intentionally, fully 100% turning and looking. Because it's like, you're never going to like, okay, you're standing there getting married, looking at the love of your life through your peripheral vision, standing at the altar. You guys are both just turning to the side, looking at each other with your peripheral vision, like, oh yeah, no, this is like, we're madly in love. So there's definitely a difference. You see what I'm saying? Versus like locking eyes and being like, wow, I love you. Like, there's a huge difference. So how can we be present, I think, is we start analyzing little things like that. You start becoming aware of what we think and how we think about things You know what I mean? It's like, what would, if we consider, if you ask why about everything, I think something very wise to do when you're asking why about something that's very deeply emotional or complicated is to make an anchor point in your emotions or your life or the time, use the time or whatever, set an alarm, something, and come back to being like, I'm going to stop asking after this amount of time. Because the point of going and questioning things about life isn't to keep questioning, 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 keep questioning. It's, yes, you should question, but at the same time, you got to come back and be like, well, it really doesn't fucking matter at the same time, because what has happened, and you can't do anything the fuck about it except be in control or be mindful of how you're thinking and what you're doing and how you're responding and how you're acting and what you're up to.
Damn, dude.
Damn, that was pretty dope. So, you see what I'm saying? It's like, dude, and this is like perfect. The notes go right along with it too. It's like, if we're not present for these lessons, we stay stuck at a certain level or cycle we can't push past. Life lessons can be painful, and when we work through them, we can unlock the next level of life. So, yeah, dude, like, to stay stuck in that cycle is not learning, but at the same time, that is learning, because I know for myself, there's certain cycles I have to stay stuck in order. I had to stay stuck in long enough in order for me to get out of it and be like, whoa, that's a gnarly cycle that I'm not trying to jump back in. You know what I mean? And I think of this word, it's kind of funny, like vicious cycle, like, or is like, life cycle, generational cycles, like whatever. I start thinking motorcycle. Like, I'm like, would I throw a leg over that motorcycle? Like, nah, dude, like that dude built that thing out of fucking, rusty parts. The bolts don't match up. Everything's stripped. The wheels wobble. Like, I'm not trying to ride on that thing. Like, that thing looks fucking dangerous. Like that's not a cycle I'm trying to ride. Oh, look at that cycle. I want to ride that cycle. So it's like, I think when we start being aware of what our cycle is, analyze what is our life cycle and the lessons that has played out every single time. Like for me, a life cycle that I had to stop jumping in. What the fuck happened to my memory card? Okay, hold on. We're going to take a break. One second, we'll be right back.
Damn, dude.
What up, guys? Sorry about that technical difficulties real quick. And I got to say I'm proud of myself because I didn't forget what the fuck I was talking about. I didn't even write it down. A cycle that I was stuck in was that I had this whole story and so much evidence and proof everywhere that I was stupid and my voice didn't matter. And that was my cycle that I was stuck in life probably longer than anything. And I still am. I'm still working on it. You know what I mean? I'm just in a better cycle of it. It's like, if you ride dirt bikes or you've ridden dirt bikes at all, like if you ride a dirt bike that's too small for you, it's really hard. Like it's easier to ride a bike that's way too big for you than it is to ride a bike that's way too small for you. like maybe not when you're brand new, just learning, but I mean, just once you kind of get it, like when you know how to ride one already, riding a bike that's too small sucks. It's like, it's not that fun, only unless you're like riding a pit bike and doing donuts on a little track or something, or, doing wheelies or whatever. But aside from that, like if you're actually trying to go on a real ride and like ride some distance, nah, the suspension can't hang, the engine's not enough, the ergonomics is too wacky. Like it just doesn't make sense, right? So it's like, I'm going to upgrade my cycle. So instead of riding a 50, you're now hopping on a fucking 250 or a 450 or a fucking 150 or whatever, right? And once that you're like, I'm going to hop on a different cycle, because we always are going to have some sort of cycle. You know what I mean? Like life is a cycle. There's always going to happen. So being that that's the case, pick the best one. You know what I'm saying? Pick your favorite brand, pick your favorite size. You want a 2-stroke or a 4-stroke, whatever, right? That's just a motorcycle, but in life, you get to pick any kind of cycles. So I think the mental and emotional cycles that we go through, it's wise to be aware of them by analyzing ourselves, meditating, listening to ourselves. Like before I started this podcast, I used to practice recording on my what do you call this thing? On the voice recorder thing on my cell phone. And I would listen to it and I was just like, oh, this is so cringy, dude. And I would like just keep doing it and doing it and doing it and doing it. And I did it so much that I finally started being able to like, and I'm still working on this obviously, but like tuning the way that I'm like projecting, because you can't be timid and just, I mean, you can be timid, but like it's not going to be appealing. You're like, I don't know. Oh, sorry. Like, like I'm trying to think like when I first started talking, there was such a lack of confidence and such a lack of just practice, really. A lack of experience is really what it was. And you have a lack of confidence due to a lack of experience. So if you want more confidence, then you got to go gain more experience.
Damn, dude.
Want confidence? Go get experience.
Damn, dude.
So, which moves me to the next piece of this is like, we can only do as good as our level of awareness.
Damn, dude.
Damn, dude.
Yo, that goes hard in the yard because we really can only do as good as our level of awareness. Dude, like think about that. You can only do as good as your level of awareness. You know what I mean? Like I can't talk about anything on here that I'm not aware about. You know what I mean? Like there's stuff that like there's stuff like, I don't know. There's stuff that I know, like, that I don't know about, like affairs in the government and stuff like that. Like, what's going on there? I don't fucking know, dude. Like, that's not my, like, I can theorize on it based off of shit I heard, but my level of awareness is not in the actual knowing of what's really the fuck going on. You know what I'm saying? And anybody listening to the show, you don't know either. So it's like it's kind of funny like that, but that's true. And it's like that applies to pretty much everything. It's like you can only love somebody to the level of love that you have for yourself. You can only love as much as you can love. You know what I mean? You can only know as much as you know until you learn more. And once you've learned more, then that's as much as you know at that point until you learn more. So I think it's wise to always just stay in a state of forever learning and understanding that life is going to occur in cycles. And you can either hop on bigger and better ones, or you can stay in these small vicious ones where you hit your knees on the handlebars and you get fucking bruises on your fucking legs and calves, and you're hitting your elbow on your freaking knees also, and every time you turn the bar, it hits your knees, and you're not trying to do that. Hop on a bigger cycle. You know what I mean? A bigger and better one where you're not getting your ass kicked. It's not vicious. It's not made out of rusty parts. It's, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's actually tangible. So I think something that's interesting that works for me is writing my gratitude, writing down 10 things I'm grateful for, and then saying thank you to each one of them 3 times. And really feeling each one out. So I'll write the whole thing, and then I'll go back and read each one and say, thank you, thank you, thank you. And then I'll think about every good thing about it, and everything I like about it, and everything I appreciate about it, in order to have some sort of level of awareness of what I have in my life and what's going on in my life. You know what I mean? And oftentimes I'm like, I'll write down, like, I'm so grateful to have to have found the right, like, why to keep going with this podcast, even when, my life is absolutely nuts or whatever, you know? It's like I'm so grateful for it. I'm grateful for the listeners. I'm grateful for all my clients. I'm grateful for my friends, family, my running water, my socks, having clean clothes, having light, having an apartment, having a place to sleep, having a place to live, having grocery stores, having food to eat, you know? So what, and then with my what I'm grateful for, I also write down why. It's just like I kind of included it all into the same sentence. Like, I am grateful to wake up today because life is a gift and a blessing. You know what I'm saying? Something like that. And it's like I write it down what it is and then why in the same sentence, basically. So if I can only do as good as my level of awareness, then I'm working to, wow, this just hit for me.
Damn, dude.
Fuck. Like, with my gratitude practice, it's increasing my level of awareness of the things that I already have. So when I go out into the world, I'm not in this like, I want sort of mode. I'm in this like, or like, what else is out there? It's like, no, like, I think it kind of helps bring me back and focus on the shit I need to do and what's around me rather than worrying about outside shit so much. You know what I'm saying?
Damn, dude.
Wow. This just kind of like blew my mind right now. It's pretty fucking cool. You know, so it's like the more we practice gratitude and self-awareness, then the greater our level of awareness. And we can only do as good as our level of awareness.
Damn, dude.
Damn, dude.
Yo. Oh, yes. Oh, fuck. You guys, isn't this show, this is a cool show. I don't give a fuck what you think. This is a cool fucking show, man. Oh, fuck. So that kind of leads to the next part, which is, you know, hold on a second. Dude, my coffee is bomb today. I'm telling you, there's this fucking weird ass like St. Patty's Day green creamer. It's like this rare, like a special, I don't know, limited one, right? For St. Patty's Day or something. And it looks fucking disgusting, but it's green. And honestly, it's like mint chip flavored or something, but it's like healthy kind of, you know, I don't know. But it just fucking tastes good, dude. It's very sketchy looking, but I got lucky that it was pretty bomb. So, you know what? We're going to take a quick break, and we'll be right back.
Damn, dude.
Damn, dude.
Oh, hello. Hi. This is a word from our sponsors. Our sponsors say you need to practice self-awareness, or else I will wear these pants around my knees as I take my belt off and whoop your silly motherfucking ass.
Damn, dude.
Damn, dude.
So love yourself, or else life is just so much more difficult. Practice appreciation, or life is so much more difficult. So have awareness of yourself and your situations and your surroundings. And remember, don't be a little bitch.
Damn, dude.
Damn, dude.
What up, everybody? Welcome, Bicycle. So, we're talking about loving ourselves, because that has to do with exactly the life cycles that we choose to get on. The different types of cycles of life that we choose are dependent on the level of awareness and love we have for ourselves. That's why it's important to not be a little bitch and do this work. You know what I mean? So how do we know if we really love ourselves? What does it look like when we really honor and prioritize ourselves? Well, I am working on figuring that out. But what we've got down here and kind of figured out is, well, what does it look like to honor and prioritize yourself would be having boundaries with certain people, working on parts of ourselves we aren't in tune with or don't fully love. So, that's interesting. I really like that. Like, how do we know if we love ourselves? I think it's a matter of how much we prioritize ourselves. It's like when people say protect your energy, like that kind of has to do with this. You know what I mean? That's such a corny thing these days. You got to protect your energy, but like, it's like yes and no. I remember I was having a conversation with my mom and she was saying that like, hey, I got to protect my energy. I was like, nah, but that's bullshit. Like, you don't got to protect it. You just got to like be responsible with it. And then it just kind of came down to like words and their meanings at the end of it. So it's not wrong and I don't disagree, but protect your energy. It's like, I think it's more like be responsible with your energy. I think that's a more appropriate way to look at that same scenario. Is when you're more responsible with your energy, you don't need to protect it. You know what I'm saying? Because protecting comes from survival. And I think the more we're in survival, the more we're kind of in fear mode. So to me, logically, it just makes more sense to be responsible with our energy rather than to protect it. You know what I mean? And then jump into protection when you need to if there's a threat. But when you're responsible with your energy, most of the time you're putting yourself in positions where there is no threat. You know what I mean? Like, I don't feel any threat to have to like host any fucking parties or do any like this or that or like bake a cake or like, you know what I mean? I don't know. It's like, I don't really have, like, the way my life is set up, I don't really have any of that stuff. It's like, there was and is times in my life where that is priorities, and I do that. But like where I'm at right now, I've prioritized my energy and space to be in a spot where I'm like, yo, I'm not really fucking with holidays. I'm not really fucking with this or that or parties or football or like you know what I'm saying? It's like I've kind of created this lane for myself where it's like a lot of people understand, and I know it was trickiest with like my old friends to understand like, fuck, it's not that I don't like anybody, it's that I gotta like make myself a priority for the sake of everybody. You know, it's like, don't you guys want to see me do good? I want to see you guys do good. And that's the way we should all want to be, you know? And they understand. My fucking best friends are great people. So it's like they understand that. We all understand this. You know, we all have our own lane and we all have our intersections and all of this. And that's fucking, it's beautiful, you know? So, like, I think when our boundaries are clear, that's a representation of having been responsible with our energy. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like when you're responsible with your energy, you have boundaries with certain people and how much time you'll spend with them and how much traveling you'll do with them, or you know what I'm saying? Whatever your degree of hanging out is, you know? And I think that's one thing that's kind of like makes life so cool is that we all have different friends of different degrees. You know what I mean? Like we have some friends where our friendship is based around certain activities or certain commonalities or certain energies or certain hobbies. You know what I'm saying? It's like you have people who are friends simply for the fact of smoking weed. You have friends who are friends for the fact of simply riding bicycles. You have friends who are friends for the fact of simply taking pictures or liking art or working out or specifically doing booty exercises or specifically only doing arms. Like, you know, and then you got dudes who eat specifically like eating raw meat. Like you got all these people just kind of doing their own fucking thing, you know what I mean? And when we just kind of are aware of this and we have some sort of awareness over how other people make us feel and how they spark our brains creatively and how much energy they drain from us or add to us or we equally share. Because sometimes people who add too much energy to you can be annoying also, or it could be uncomfortable, or however you look at it, right? So it's a trip, you know what I mean? Like it's cool though. Like that's what makes life beautiful, is that everybody is different, but we're all the same because of that. We're all the same because we all experience difference. So that makes us the same. That's so trippy, right? But that kind of explains like heaven and hell, good and bad, love versus fear, like whatever. So when we prioritize ourselves, that has to do with, like shit, like, do you love yourself? Like, it has to do with how clean your area is. It has to do with how well you take care of yourself. It has to do with how much money you make. It has to do with how much, good family energy you have in good family relationships. It looks like how your friendships look. It looks like how your, just everything that there's something to be accountable for in your life. What does it look like? Is it good? Is it bad? Is there any control over it? Is there no control of it? And it's not bad if there is no control over it, because you had no awareness over it. So now that you have awareness, now you can start analyzing and start reorganizing where your energy and activities go, where your time goes. Your time is valuable. I don't care who you are. Your time is fucking valuable. So what you want to do with your time, make sure that it's really what you want to do and not just anti what you don't want to do.
Damn, dude.
Because I think a lot of people do that. They live lives where it's just anti what they don't want to do. They're just trying to do the opposite of what they don't want to do. So that's why for like the average dude who works a 9 to 5, Monday through Friday, they live for the weekends, and then it's like football, beer, barbecue, whatever. Nothing wrong with that, but like it's kind of like the furthest escape from working, it's like we're going to get hammered. Like there's nothing wrong with it, but it's like people who, in my experience, people who don't like work some shit between Monday through Friday and actually enjoy what they're doing between those days, they don't really have the need to be like, it's the weekend, and then go celebrate and party and get hammered and all that, So, I don't know. It's just interesting. But so like, I know another thing for me is like fully loving yourself. It has to, like, something that's super personal for me with loving myself would be finances and eating habits. Those two things would be the biggest ones. Because it's like, if I love myself more, I would have more stable and better financial situation. I would just work smarter and harder through and through in order to provide the best life for myself and my kids. And there's something in me that's just like, you're not good enough, that keeps me at that standard. You know what I mean? And it's the same thing for food. Like, I don't know, man. It's like, I go back and forth. I'm like, super healthy, super not healthy, super healthy, super not healthy. I think now I'm getting better balanced though. Like, honestly, actually, for my like, excuse me. Oh yeah. Like my overall eating, it's getting better. So one thing that is interesting, it's with my food and my money, it's directly related. I got super unhealthy this last time again after 75 hard because, not super unhealthy, but like I started getting fat again. And I was eating struggle food because I didn't have any fucking money. You know what I mean?
Damn, dude.
So if I had the money, I wouldn't be eating struggle food, and then I would be showing more love and care to myself and my body and my life and my standard of living. Now, I can throw a million excuses out as to why it's okay for me to be in that, or it was okay for me to be in that position. And they would validate for a lot of people. But at the same time, I don't believe in making excuses for shit. I just own it. And it's like, well, it's on me. If I love myself more, I would figure it out. You know what I'm saying? And I am. So that's the thing, is like, I'm not down on myself. It's just, it's a good thing to jump into this and practice and have the awareness and understanding of, because otherwise, like, what the fuck? You know what I mean? So, oh man, it's interesting, you know? So that's another thing, is like, for me, being vulnerable and sharing real life examples rather than just talking about stuff theoretically is, to me, adding value. And to me, that's like, yo, we all go through shit. We all have personal problems. That's mine. And you guys all have yours. I don't give a fuck who you are. If you're listening to this, you have yours. No matter what it is, you may or may not be aware of it. You know, the person who annoys you the most and you just despise or bugs you the most or whatever, they might have been telling you for fucking years. And that's maybe why you find them so annoying, because they relate to you as your like thing that you're not aware of as you're doing it. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, holy shit. Okay. If I'm like this, that was something interesting, is like, I would get caught up in the same arguments with my ex and my dad. We would have the same type of arguments. And at a certain point, I'm like, hold the fuck on. This is no fucking coincidence, dude. There is definitely 100% a level of responsibility on me if that's happening. Because I could say, oh, well, they're similar in this way or this way or this way, but it doesn't do anything. It doesn't justify anything. It's not, that is not taking responsibility of the whole situation myself. You know what I'm saying? So I'm going to man up. I'm going to take responsibility for how my listening is occurring. What else can I do? Be mad? That's the only other option. I can learn or be offended.
Damn, dude.
Like we always fucking talk about. You can learn or be offended. It's up to you. You know what I'm saying? So, we're going to take a quick break. We'll be right back.
Damn, dude.
Damn, dude.
Once upon a time, in a time long, long ago, there was this little bitch, and he was created to be the little bitch inside all of us. Squash that motherfucker. Take control of your life. Don't be a bitch and quit making excuses. This episode is brought to you in part by Don't Be a Little Bitch, because you can either learn or be offended.
Damn, dude.
What up, everybody? Welcome, Bicycle.
Damn, dude.
So,
Oh, yes. Everybody breathe. Oh, yes.
so, getting back into this real gentle, sensitive topic here. What can we do to heal and work on the parts of us that lack love and attention? When we really love ourselves, we are more in tune with our intuition and what that aligns with.
Damn, dude.
Then I was like, then I was like, and then I was like, What can we do to heal and work on these parts of us that lack love and attention? Well, I think we kind of just explained in long version that this whole previous part of this episode, but it would really be start with gratitude and awareness of your own body, your own breathing, your own environment. How clean or messy is it? You know what I'm saying? And here's another thing too, like we just got back from camping pretty much, and my house is messy right now. And we had to take all the shit off our, like, I have a covered patio thing or balcony thingy, and I had to take everything out of there. And there's a big ass chair and these other chairs and like strollers and skateboards and bicycles and all this shit. And it's all inside. So I'm like, it's driving me crazy. You know, because it's just like so much stuff inside one place. I'm like, it's so messy. And I'm like, why is this like this? And then I'm like, oh, this isn't even really within my control. So what I see is, because I think, like, as a kid, I was always really messy. So it's like reminding me of that. It's like, it feels like my messy room when I was a kid, and I remember getting in trouble, and my life just felt like such a disaster because my room was out of control. I'm getting in trouble way faster because I'm already in trouble for my room not being clean. Like, that's already underlying there. So it's like when I'm going and acting a fool, that's already there, you know? So I'm starting to think about that. And the way I see it is, this is just a life cycle testing me again. It's like, my circumstance isn't bad, and it's nowhere near, you know what I'm saying? It's not like I'm in trouble or some shit. It's more that it's a reminder of what that feels like to just not care and just let shit just be like blah. You know what I mean? So that, I think that's just kind of like another example of how life lessons repeat and repeat and repeat and repeat. And no matter how much you pass them, they keep repeating to make sure that you pass them. You know what I mean? Because you're either going to live it out or you're not. And that has to do with our level of awareness. So if I'm aware that I got all this shit in my house and it's really messy feeling, my level of awareness is that, okay, this is not who I am or how I live. This just happens to be the circumstance right now because we had to take all the shit from out there into here. You know what I mean? So I'm able to kind of love myself through having this messy, you know, all this shit that doesn't really belong in the house in here. How I'm able to be okay with it and not identify and start letting the bathroom get extra messy or my room get messy or like whatever, right? So it's like still having respect for my environment and myself. I'm bringing awareness to it. What does it look like? What does it feel like? What does it smell like? How much, you know, it's like, how am I eating? How am I spending? How am I investing? How am I whatever, right? So I think that's a big thing we can do, is bring attention to our environment and how things are. And that kind of shows a particular level of where we're at in life. You know what I mean? If you just kind of take stock of everything you have, and you don't have to make yourself feel bad about it, it's just appreciate it. You know, like I'm at a part in life where I'm in the smallest apartment. My car's all fucking old and beat and all this crazy shit. And it's like life basically like restarted for me. If you guys have been following this podcast, you've seen the whole thing, dude. Like the whole thing. You guys got everything, dude. From me being in a relationship, kids, dog, house, the whole fucking thing, new car, the whole nine. To fucking, you know, to having my garage, my motorcycles, my fucking trailer, my all this stuff. And now I'm fucking back at square one. And I can be mad or I can be appreciative. I can learn or be offended.
Damn, dude.
And it's like, I could be offended, like, oh, I live in this tiny ass apartment. I got all blah, blah, whatever. I'm driving this old ass car, this and that. No, fuck that. I'm so grateful to have a house because for a while I was living in my fucking little ass car and having to get in a fucking hotel room for my weekends with my kids and all this extra shit. And it was like, not easy. I'm telling you, it was not easy. Like, you know what I'm saying? It is what it is. It's not like, oh, I need sympathy, whatever. I'm at peace with it. That's why I'm grateful. You know what I mean? Like, the thing is, I'm grateful and I still have ambition to have better and bigger again. You know what I'm saying? Just because you appreciate what you have, that doesn't mean you have no ambition. You can be grateful for everything you have and still be ambitious and still want more and still want better for yourself and still want better for your life. And I think that all has to do with the practice of loving yourself. And when you love yourself, you do good. And when you do good in life, you know, life does good for you. It's plain and simple.
Damn, dude.
When you do good for people, people do good for you. Life does good for you. That's how it works. You know what I'm saying? So I know also that like when my life starts falling apart in certain aspects and or in certain areas, I have to take stock in how much have I been contributing to society lately. You know, if my answer is, depending on what my answer is, it depends on what my next action is. Because sometimes I'm like, yo, I haven't fucking helped anybody out in so fucking long. And because I'm aware that I have the ability to help somebody out in whatever fucking circumstance, whether it's go help the lady down the street, clean her yard or sidewalk or whatever, which I haven't done in a while. So I'm gonna have to make it a priority to go do that. You know what I mean? So at the same time, I know that I am doing good. I help people. I stop. I check on people. I make sure people are good. I analyze. If I see somebody pulled over or broken down, I assess their entire scenario. I see what's going on. And then if I'm like, oh, they're going to be okay. They're on their phone, they're pulled over safely. They're going to be okay. It's not like back in the day, or I've seen people with like motorcycle problems and I'll look and I'll see, he's got it fixed. He's got riding buddies. They got a whole group. Like all of those people are more help than I can be. You know what I'm saying? I analyze and assess what tools I have on me, if I got zip ties, if I got bolts, if I got a little track pack thing in my backpack. Oh, for those that don't know, it's like a little box of like nuts and bolts that I like to carry around usually because motorcycles wiggle bolts loose and you always, you know what I'm saying? You never fucking know. I've had these little things I bring save my ass so many fucking times. That's another thing. If you ride motorcycles, always carry zip ties. And I would recommend some sort of like Leatherman tool, but at least zip ties. At least zip ties. One time I was riding home I forget if I was riding to or from Vegas on my motorcycle, and my exhaust pipe just went, and I was like, what the fuck? And it started I think it bounced off my back tire a time or two. And I was like, yo, what the fuck? Because it was like my bike had the exhaust pipe was underneath the back seat. And then so like rather than on the side of the bike, and the bracket just fucking came loose. The bolt fell out, and I'm like, what the fuck? You can't even buy one of those, shit. So zip ties, zip tied all my shit back together, and I was either on my way. Oh no, I was riding from Vegas to Long Beach, and I fucking rode all the way to Long Beach with that shit. So always bring zip ties. They saved me more times than that. That actually got me back in the middle of the desert when my header fell off my fucking quad one time. Anyway, but that's the thing, is bringing a level of awareness is why I'm saying all that anyways. When we have a level of awareness of our environment, our surroundings, the people, and how much we have the ability to help or we not help, it's like you can look at certain situations and be like, if I go stop and interfere, I'm gonna be of way more of a nuisance and or I should say, I'm gonna be way more of a distraction than I am of help. Like when we were at the car show, like that car crashed, and I wanted to go run up, but I was like, well, there's already people specifically designated for that, and when somebody has a possible neck injury, you don't want to be the one, you don't want to go fucking touching them, you don't, you never know. So I'm analyzing the situation. I'm like, the best help that I could be like, I looked at it, I assessed, and I see he's alive. If you're alive, then you're okay. So I was like, he's okay. So I yelled, I said it pretty loud, I was like, oh, he's okay. And then to me, I was like, that's the best I could do to help ease the crowd. That's the most help that I can be. If I go run over there, I'm causing trouble there, and then there's more people going to jump the fence and jump the barriers. It's like, that's not going to help. I wanted to do that, but I had to assess the situation at the same time. You know what I mean? So, when we're more aware of ourselves and we really love ourselves and we're aware of the aspects of where we love ourselves and don't love ourselves, we're more in tune with our intuition and what that aligns with. And the more we're in tune with our intuition, the better choices we make. And it's like they say, and I believe this, that what we eat has to do with our intuition. What we let me re-say that. What we consume has to do with how it either sharpens or dulls our intuition. Everything we consume sharpens or dulls our intuition. So whether you're consuming information, TV, reading, listening, music, entertainment, food, you're being a consumer, you're purchasing, you're just buying stuff to feel good. You know what I'm saying? Whatever the fuck it is, whatever you consume is gonna either sharpen or dull our blade of intuition. You know what I'm saying?
Damn, dude.
So when our intuition's on point, life's so much easier. Like I think that's when we're really in like a flow state, is when we really can, it's just like, yep. You don't really have to think about shit. You kind of just know, and that's such a great feeling. And now that I'm describing that, I'm like, a bunch of times where I've been in that position has flashed through my head. And I'm like, okay, I see it. And that's what I have little moments of it here and there, moments of it happen when the podcast flows super smooth and I feel like I'm just like channeling information. It's not even me thinking or being conscious so much. It's more just like something's coming through me and the words are just coming out. And I'm like, whoa, okay. I just kind of understand how to filter it through my head to where it's like, these are the words I want to choose. When I first started speaking up, keep in mind, I've always been a quiet ass person, like super quiet person. So when I first started talking and speaking up, I would speak like this. Just so I could be sure, just so I can be sure that I'm choosing the correct words that I want to choose. So I would speak all slow and choppy because I'm analyzing what every word really means as I'm saying it. I'm trying to hear my own voice through my ears as the words are coming out of my mouth, because there's this huge disconnect. Because every time I'm fucking saying something, people are hearing the complete opposite of what my brain just thought I said. So I used to talk like that. And it was so annoying, but at the same time, I was like, I don't care. This is me learning. Like at some point, when you're potty training, you gotta piss on some things. You gotta piss your pants a few times, whatever. You gotta piss on the sofa, the floor, wherever, to learn. And that's kind of annoying, but it's like, yo, we gotta go through the process in order to learn. And that's how I felt about it. Is like, you gotta suck to be good. And all the mistakes I would make within speaking and whatever, it's failing upwards. And that's how I feel about every shitty podcast I've ever made. It's like, well, this was all a fail upwards. Any post I made where it was like, oh, that was yikes, man. Like, it's a fail upwards. It's moving forwards. You know what I'm saying? Because this is all going to getting better at it. So that's why I don't care if you think if anybody is like, oh, that sucks or whatever, that's fine. Go start your own. Let me see you do one better, And if you can't, then the opinion doesn't even matter. Because you're either going to listen or you're not going to listen. So at the end of the day, my intuition tells me, do this. And when I sit down and I look into this from a point of gratitude and I really get grateful about this, I'm like, yep, your intuition was correct. Do it, bro. Keep going and do it no matter what. Tap into your most inner stubborn and make it fucking happen. Because I know how to do that, So for me, honoring this podcast is me practicing loving myself. You guys have been here with me through my hardest times as an adult. These last 2 years, it has nothing to do with the pandemic. It has to do with my own personal... The fuck? What is peeping? Sorry. Like these last 2 years and everything, and all of this, it has to do with my own personal shit. Like how I actually relate to life. Like it was time. It was like life was going so good for so long. Like life has to retest you. And I feel like I'm passing the test this time around because I'm not going quiet. I'm not fucking just, it's like to be hearing more of me rather than way less of me is weird. That's not of me. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't complain. I don't bitch. I'm responsible for myself and what I do and what I say. So me doing this show, going through all the crazy shit that I went through, you guys have gone through all the crazy shit that you guys have gone through since you've started listening to this show. And if this is the first time, if this is your first time listening, how much, you know what I'm saying? Like, what's going to happen by the end of your day? When we take stock in it, it's like we have the ability and the chance to appreciate it. So that's why journaling and documenting or whatever, me podcasting, this is my version of journaling. I don't like writing a whole lot. I got arthritis in my wrist too, so it hurts to write. So find an outlet, and that's a great way to bring attention to the things that you do. For me, speaking, I realized what I would say would not connect with anybody else's ears, and it would drive me fucking nuts. So I had enough of that. So now here I am, just practicing and practicing and practicing and practicing and practicing and practicing and practicing. You can ask me in like 10 years from now, well, hopefully, and what I'll say is like, bro, I don't know, I'm still just practicing. You know, like that's like I'm still just learning. I'm just practicing. That's all it is. You don't got to be good at fucking anything to start. You have to suck in order to start. I mean, maybe you don't have to, but you got to feel like it at times. It's just part of it, you know? So bringing awareness is going to be like the number one thing to what you're eating, how you're doing, how you're responding. Because it's like, if you think about it, all your items, your mess, your money, your food, your habits, where you go, the activities you do, how you think is all dictated on how you consume all of the different aspects of life. You know what I mean? Some people care about taking care of cleaning, making sure their shoes are clean all the time. They'll never get caught outside with dirty shoes. Some people will never get caught with uncombed hair. Some people will never get caught without a perfectly buttoned down shirt and fucking nice pants. Some people don't give a fuck about any of that. Some people, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's all so different. So I think when we could just bring a level of awareness to all these different things, you know, it's like, do I go out with fucking crust on my face? Do I go out with my hair all wacky? Do I only comb the front of my hair and ignore the back of my hair? Do I brush my teeth so in a way that my breath actually smells good? Do I, you know, it's like, if I like do my feet, like if I wear these shoes, are my feet gonna stink? If I do, like, whatever, you know what I'm saying? I don't know. Like, the more awareness to stuff we can have, the better. And I think that's what's so dope about practicing gratitude and having plants, by the way, is that when you have to remember to water your plants, because if you don't, they die. And it's such a real life reflection of like, damn, how well am I taking care of myself? Because your plants will reflect that, their energy too. And if they're all dying and whatever, then you're not taking care of them. You know, you're not moving them, you're not rotating, you're not keeping an active flow and movement of energy and different shit in your house. So, you know, different parts of the plant need different light and different water and different dirt and different all of this. So it's like we need to look at ourselves like that. I think another good way to bring awareness to ourselves is to go and suck at more things. Meaning, go and try more stuff that you are uncomfortable with, stuff you suck at, stuff you don't know how to do, stuff you don't even know if you suck or are good at it. You know what I mean? Like, one thing for me was like going and smoking cigars, like at a cigar bar. Like, I'd always been like, eh, but I finally did it. Shout out to the homie Andy and the Art of Cigar in downtown. You guys need to go. It's fucking amazing. I will definitely plug them for free. The Art of Cigar. Go see Andy. Tell him Calvin sent you. Yeah, dude, all like Dominican cigars. All their stuff's handpicked from Dominican Republic. It's phenomenal, dude. Absolutely phenomenal. The Art of Cigar. Follow them on Instagram too, and tell them Calvin from Damn Dude Podcast sent you. It's things like that. I was so uncomfortable. I didn't know what to do. I didn't know how to do all this shit. Like, I've smoked cigars, but in that fashion, it was so different, you know? Trying new sports, playing new things, doing, you know, telling new jokes, being different types of expressive, stuff like that. Like, when you hear me doing all these funny commercials and shit, like, that's just me fucking around. I don't know what I'm doing. Like, I'm just being weird as fuck just because I can. And it's me practicing doing things that I'm not very comfortable with. You know, I want to tap in. I think a lot of funny shit. I don't know if I say it or I put it out there, or I don't know. But I would love to be able to know how to tap into it and play in that field a little more comfortably, because I don't know how to like bring my funny, playful, like I don't know how to bring out my funny side, I should say, with everybody. Like it's only when I know somebody's receptive and they're already kind of like on that tip that I can joke with. But if somebody's not, I don't bring the jokes like right off the bat. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know, it's kind of funny. But that's my level of awareness and what I've come to understand. You know what I mean? Love you guys. Appreciate you guys. Damn Dude Podcast family. You guys are fucking amazing. Appreciate you guys so much.
And I wanna be here for days. And we'll serve like 38. Now the sun touches your face. Not the beach, not the you. And the last one to be us too. And it's good, it'll be me and you.
Damn, dude.
Damn, dude.
I appreciate you guys. Make sure you guys go tell a friend to tell your mama, to tell your cousin, to tell your auntie, to tell your daddy, to tell your baby daddy, to tell your baby daddy's baby's mama's baby's mama's baby's mama's grandma's uncle's cousins, friends, best friends, toe sucking, pig fucking, cousin licking, chicken sticking, finger licking, ranch sauce dipping homies to subscribe and download the Damn Dude Podcast on all audio platforms, wherever audio podcasts are available. I love you guys. I appreciate you guys. Thank you for making this all fucking fun as fuck. Much love. Have a beautiful day. Peace.
Damn, dude.
Damn, dude.